Let's try to understand the basic data manipulation in R. The package which we'll be using here is Tidyverse. In fact, Tidyverse is the most important package available in R, and it's most powerful package as well for any basic as well as advanced data manipulation. The manipulation we will be doing here will be on data frame, and the sample data we will be using is provided by the R itself. uh, if we want to know all the available data sets available in R, this is how we can figure it out. You just have to type data and run it. So this is the list of all the data set given by the R basically. So the data which we will be using for this tutorial will be orange data set. This is the data, orange data. If you see here, growth of orange trees, this is the sample data which we will be using for this tutorial. And if first of all, let's summarize the data. Okay. Oh, so once we know which data set we are gonna use, let's just summarize the data. This is how we do it. This is base R function. You just have to pass in the data and it will give you the name of the available column and the values it contain. It's like that. Let's just try to view the data before moving forward. So view is a command. It's available from the base R itself. Just to eyeball the data, whatever the data we have got, you run through it and it will give you display the data basically in the current window pane. You say here, this is, we have three columns here. The tree is a categorical column. We have age of that particular tree, and we have the circumference of orange which is coming out of that tree. It's interesting. The age is basically here in number of days. So this tree one is of 118 days old. Again, we have up to 5 category of trees, and this is the circumference on this side. So yeah, now we will try to install the Tidyverse package. It's super easy. You just have to, if the package is already installed, you just have to load it through the library. If it's the package is not installed, you just install it through the package pane here. You click down here and then install. You just have to type the name what you want to install. Yeah, Tidyverse, this is the name. You just have to click on it and install it. It's super easy. Once it's been installed, you load it through this command. Yeah. Once it's been loaded and we can move forward. Now the data is already in our system. Here it is. Okay. So this is our data, the sample data. In our case, our data is of orange. Okay. And orange data set contain three columns, which are tree and sorry, this is how we visualize it. It contains tree and it contains circumference, and it contains the age of the tree. So these three are the columns which we are having in our data set. Now the data manipulation technique which we are gonna do on top of it will be summarize, filter, mutate, and select. uh, these are the most basic data manipulation or data management techniques which we are gonna do on top of this data. Let's first try out with the summarize function. Now we know that our data has three columns: tree, the age of the tree, and the circumference of the fruit. Here the fruit is orange, of course. So yeah, if we want to suppose we want to know the mean age of the trees, of all the trees available in our data set, and mean of circumference of all the fruits in the data set itself, there are two ways to approach this problem. One is you can directly find out the mean through the mean function of base r. That's how we do it. In mean, we pass in the column name, and this column needs to be numeric, of course. So yeah, this is the average age of the trees available in our data set. But there is one more effective way to do the same operation. So this is how we do it using the tdverse package. So we create a data variable, and if we have to do manipulation on orange data, that's how we write it. On orange data, then we read it as then, actually. Yeah, so do summarize. We create a column of average age, which will contain the mean of age of the trees, because we are not writing here with the dollar symbol, because it will directly take it from this data itself. So there is no need to write the dollar symbol here again. So let's run it. Now the result is in our data variable, and we have not written it here, that's why it's not showing. Again we run it. Okay, so if you say here, yeah, average age of our tree is 922.14. Again, similarly, we can figure out the average circumference of our data. What is this? Yeah, this is how it is. If we run it, this is how it is. So this is the average age of the trees in our data set, and this is the average circumference of the fruits in our data set. This summary function becomes more powerful once we pair it up with the group by function of the tdverse package itself. This is how we try to do it. Now imagine a situation right now in our data set. So this is our orange data set. We have different set of trees, 1 2 3 4 5, up to 5 types of trees, and the mean or the average value what we are getting is of all, is including all the categories of trees. Suppose we want to segregate the average age of trees based on the category, and same goes for circumference as well. For example, we want to know the age of average age of trees where the tree type is 1 and tree type is 2. So there is a clear segregation between the types of trees we are having. So we try to achieve it through by pairing group by function and the summarize function together. This is how we do it. This is how we pair up group by command and the summarize function. This is how we read it. We have created a data variable, and we are doing manipulation on top of our orange dataset. And on top of orange dataset, we are applying our group by function, passing the tree here. The tree is a categorical column, so it will group the related records accordingly. And once the data has been grouped, on top of it we are doing the summarize function, which will calculate the mean age of that particular type and mean circumference of the fruits coming out of that particular tree. If we have to look at the result, this is what the value we are getting here. So if we have to decipher it, this is how we read it. For category type 3, tree type 3, the mean circumference of the fruit is 94, and the mean age of that particular type of tree is 922. In fact, mean age of all the trees is almost same, it's 922, but there is variation in circumference if we have to look at it. 94, 99, 111, 135, and 139. So this is how we do uh, use group by function in combination with summarize. Actually, this becomes very powerful when we have to do manipulation on a data frame which contains categorical as well as numerical data columns. So for every category we can figure out the mean, median or standard deviation for that particular category in our data frame.